Hi, it's Linda from Linda's Paperworks. Welcome to my tea party for two, me and you. You may think, what is she doing? She's lost her mind. But what I'm going to do is show you ways that we can use used tea bags to decorate our journals with. So I'm going to go ahead and start my tea brewing here. Just needs a couple of minutes. I think it's 2. I have it in my teapot that my friend Cindy gave to me. Thank you, Cindy. And I'm having Earl Grey black tea today. I know this is not a new idea to use tea bags in your journals, but I thought I would go over some ways that I've used them and show you what I've got to show for it. I have kind of an eclectic look here. I have a teacup that would belong to my mother, and it was the only one she had. She was always picking up one pretty teacup or one little pitcher or one little this or that, and she liked things like that. And I guess I caught it from her. I like it that way too. And this is just a napkin that I bought years ago because I thought it was pretty. Doesn't really go with that, but anyway, it's kind of a blue theme. I have my teapot, and I have my placemat tea towel that I got at a thrift store in Grand Lake, Colorado one summer when we were up there. So anyway, I'm going to start telling you about some of the ways that I have used tea bags in my journals, and I'm going to move some of this stuff aside just a little bit. Maybe move that back a little bit. One of the easiest ways to use a tea bag is just to use a little bit of the paper in a cluster. And this is one I made to go on this page with the butterflies. And I have a poem that I took out of a book, and it has the poem on either side of it. And I wanted to preserve both sides. I used a napkin, just the white part of a napkin on both sides of this, and Mod Podge to preserve the very delicate falling apart paper that this was. You could also use a tea bag to do that as well, and it would work just fine. And then on this, I have just a little bit of tea bag behind a couple of kinds of papers. I tied a little bow, and I put the butterfly on a piece of white cloth back here. Just staple that together. And then I put the bow on it to cover the staple. So that's one idea. And a similar idea is to use a tea bag behind other things on a page, just to give another layer to it. This was a large tea bag. I think it probably came from a family size, like a Lipton family size tea bag. And I just put it behind there and then made my page on top of it with a book page and a little fold down place to write. And it has a secret card stuck up under there. Not too secret, but sort of secret. And a couple of little things in here in this pocket. And this flips up. Anyway, those are a couple of ways to use a tea bag. And another similar thing I've done on this little piece is I put tea bag behind. I have a layer here of netting, and I have the tea bag behind that, and then I have lace behind that. And the tea bag just kind of gives it a little more color there and makes this netting show up a little better than if it weren't there. And that's it. So that is that way. And then on this card, this tag, I used a tea bag right here that I had splattered some gold paint on with a fan brush. And it gave it, move it out of the way a little bit, kind of a sunburst look there on the tea bag. And I think that was a pretty effect on that. So that's another way. And, well, I guess that's the same way. Using it on in clusters and behind things, behind other papers. Then another way to use a tea bag. This is an idea I got from Natasha of Treasure Books to alter a playing card. What she did is she glued some paper on there, which I did here, and then just glued a tea bag over the top, a used tea bag, so it's got the stains, the tea stains on it. And then on this side, I covered up. I sanded off that design a little bit with just a sanding block, and then I put another tea bag over it to just mute it down a little bit. So that's an idea. And then this is similar, but it's a slightly different thing, is to age a photograph. This is a copy of a photograph, an old photograph, family photograph. I think I may have mentioned this before, or maybe I didn't. I can't remember. This was my great-grandmother's old boyfriend. And all these years she kept the picture, but, well, all those years she kept the picture. The family kept the picture. But I wanted to use it in one of my journals, but I didn't want to use the original. I wanted to change it a little bit. And so I made a Xerox copy of it and glued it down. And glued the tea bag over it, and then I cut it out and glued it to this piece of scrapbooking paper. So that's another way to use a used tea bag, and it gives it a real aged look and also kind of a matte finish, which is nice. Then another thing you can do is to age magazine. These were ads for various travel venues in a Southern Living magazine, and so I wanted to use it in this little book, which was supposed to be an older time period. So I use the tea bags to age these advertisements and make them look like they've been around for a long time. So that is another way to use a tea bag. And I was keeping up track of the numbers, but now I've lost track. Let's see, we're up to number 4. Well, these were all number 4. Age a photo, magazine pictures, other things like that. Then, in a similar way, you can use a used tea bag to subdue the pattern or a color on a page. And this page, this paper is this, originally was this paper, and I put a used tea bag over it and toned it way down. It went better with the look of the rest of this accordion journal. So that's another way. This, I also put a tea bag on it, sprinkled some gold on it, put a stamped leaf on it, and some other things on the back. I put the tea bag on both sides of that. And this one, I just glued it down, and I didn't cover it with glue. If you put the glue on top, it gives it a shiny look. This has more of a matte finish, as does this. I think I just glued it down as well. So that is another way to use a used tea bag. I've made ruffles with used tea bags. Actually, I just made this one today. And this is a tea bag that I had run through my Big Shot machine with a embossing folder that has script on it. Our neighbors are making noise. I think it's time for me to pour my tea, and I'm going to take my tea bag out, I hope. Maybe I'll pour the tea first, and then I'll do that. And a lump of sugar. Put my other sugar there. Take out my tea bag to save for future projects. I'm getting a little low on tea bags, so it's good that winter's coming on when we have more hot tea. I'm going to set this aside out of harm's way, out of this harm's way. Get my sugar stirred in a little bit, and I'm going to have a sip if you don't mind. I hope you have some tea to drink. I love Earl Grey tea. This tea bag, I ran it through an embossing folder that has script on it to see what it would look like. And it really didn't show up very well, but I decided to go ahead. I was running kind of low on tea bags to use, and I decided to go ahead and make my ruffle with it. And it really kind of gave it a little extra body to have that embossing on there. So that was kind of fun. And I think it looks cute on this page with that. So that's a ruffle. That's number 6. And number 7 is stamp a word or a design on a piece of tea bag. And this is another piece. I think this is some of that gold splattered tea bag that I used on something else. So I put Hello Sunshine on that one, and it's kind of a glow there. And this is just a number 3, and I glued this piece to some brown packing paper, which I had stamped a couple of things on the back of it, which won't show. This is going to go in my gratitude journal, and you may have seen it already in that, because this video is going to be after that video. Okay, that was number 7. To stamp a design or a word on it to decorate a page with. Then number 8 is to strengthen a page. And this little page, this is the one I ran through my embossing machine with these gears, the plastic gears, and it really didn't work very well. It broke them up and things, and my paper was pretty damaged, especially right there. So I just decided to glue a tea bag over the entire back of it. And this piece was where, I believe a clock was there. I think a clock like that was there. And it just came out. So I just let that be a window there. And I still am going to put something here that will show through that window. Maybe a butterfly or something there to peek through there. And then this is also another window, but it's in a specimen card. And this is one I did not too long ago. After I had the tea bag glued into the frame, I put the matte medium over the top of the whole thing to make the butterfly show up better. So that is using a window in a specimen window or a specimen card. Then a similar thing I did. A lot of these are similar. You're covering up something with a tea bag, and that's what I did with this. This was a bookmark that I made to go in this belly band. And I made the belly band because this piece of napkin only came up so far, and it didn't look like I wanted it to at the top, so I decided to put the belly band on. Then I needed something in the belly band, and I started using scraps from this to make the design on here, and I stamped some words on it. And I really wasn't liking the way that, I mean, it just looked too much like it was pieced together. So I decided to put the tea bag over the top of it. And I think that unified the whole thing. So I liked that idea. And it toned it down a little bit just for a different look, to make it look a little different from these flowers down here. So that is to cover a collage to unify it. And then, oh, I'm here still. One other way, this is number 11, which is, I guess, a bonus number, is to patch a tear on a page. Now, I deliberately tore that just a little while ago, so I have a page to patch. And it's got a little tear here, and it's got the big tear there. So I'm just going to glue this piece of tea bag over that, and I'll carry that around to the back, or cut it and put it on the back. I think I'm going to use some of that matte medium, and I'm going to put this little piece of acetate behind it so it doesn't go through on the other page. I'm going to use my little silicone brush thing. I think I'm just going to put this on the page here, just where it's torn, like that. And I may need to use my finger to smooth it out. And then just put the tea bag over the place where it's torn, like that, and press it down. It's torn. Whoops, it's not holding down. Put a little more there. And smooth that down like that. And then I'm going to do the other side too. But I think I'm going to just snip that off right there. Whoops. All my whoopses. Like that. Okay, let's get this back here like it's supposed to be. You know, I'm going to put just a little bit of good old glue stick on that, to make it stick a little better right there. You can still read the words behind it, is one of the benefits of using the tea bag. And also, you could use one that hadn't been used. I'm having trouble getting this to stick. If you use one like this one that's not been used, it would be white over there. But since I kind of like that patched up look, I decided to use that, the tea bag that had been used. And I'm going to put this glue on here, and then I'm going to put the other glue over the top. Okay. I hope there's enough of this to do that. You could just use a piece of like tracing paper on this too, would work. I've done that before, and it's a little bit different look, but you can still see what's behind it. Or if you don't really care what's behind it, you could just put whatever kind of paper you wanted to put on there to patch it. And I think it's a cute, I mean, it adds a little interest to it that you're not expecting to see. So that's the ways that I came up with for this list of ways to use used tea bags in your journals. And there's probably lots of other things you can do, many creative ideas. So I hope you'll experiment and not just throw your tea bags away, and use them to put in a cluster or layer it behind something else. Alter a playing card. Where'd my little stack go? Oh, here it is. Alter a playing card. This is not done yet. It needs something else on top, but it's started. Alter a photograph. Alter some pictures or magazine pictures or ads to be aged. To make a ruffle. Where's our ruffle? Here's our ruffle. Oh, I skipped over. Subduing a design on a page, like that. Or a color. You could make a color look less bold. Stamp a word or design. Strengthen a page, which we did with this page. Or fill a window with the tea bag. Cover the collage to unify it. Cover the collage with the tea bag to unify it. And to mend a tear, which is this one, which is work in progress right now. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Enjoy your tea. Cheers. Don't slurp your tea, Linda.